What's going on, everybody? I got disconnected, so I figured I would just live stream real quick for about 5-10 more minutes and get the last bullet point, and that was Trump's response to Sinclair broadcasting viral video. So if you got disconnected, welcome back. Thank you guys for joining again. I was thinking about just doing this on YouTube, but I decided to I'll live stream it here real quick, and then what I usually do is I rip it off of Facebook and I put it on YouTube. So to those who watched it on YouTube, that's why it's always like that, and I talk for a while. Thanks everybody for joining again. You guys are incredible. We'll wait about a minute for people to join, and then I'll get that last bullet point in. So, we were on a roll, and my phone froze up a little bit. It was the Russians, it was the communists. No, I'm just playing. It was probably just a machine error. So we'll give it a minute. Thanks for joining again. If you guys would like, my website is legendary.vision. It's spelled like that. It's easy, legendary.vision. You can find my contacts, some of my music if you like some of the tunes I play. You could also find all my social media links. My Instagram is DreamRare, DreamRare. My Twitter is Legendary Energy. And, I just got to say a prayer real quick. It's a beautiful thing when we get disconnected and then people just flow back into the live stream like this. I have to say a prayer. I'm forever grateful, with barely any budget. Sometimes just bottom of the barrel stuff. We're just putting up incredible numbers, and it's beautiful. There's entire news organizations with thousands of employees and billions of dollars, and they got tens of thousands of new laptops, and they got chairs, and we could sit here with the pillow on the couch and just outperform people with multi-million-dollar budgets. So I think that deserves a prayer in itself. Thank you, God. Thank you, America, for giving me this freedom. Thank you, world. Thank you, planet. Thank you, universe, if it truly exists. Thank you, animals. I'm just very, very grateful for everything inside of this omniverse right now. So we're going to get to the point is, thanks for joining again. Sorry, I just got in the zone there. President Trump responded to Sinclair Broadcasting's viral video. Everybody shared it. It seemed like it was a hit. To the extreme left loved it. The extreme right loved it. Everybody in between loved it. Because it showed fake news, but it also kind of showed fake news on the conservative side, I guess. So the left loved it and the right loved it as well. And here's what President Trump said. And the video, if you guys didn't see it, it was a bunch of news sources. It was Fox, it was NBC, it was ABC, 200 plus stations saying the same exact thing. They had a script to read about fake news, and they played it, bam, 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 played it at the same time. It was very, very creepy and just showed how puppety the news is. You have a bunch of people reading scripts. It's not real. There's no energy there. There's no authenticity there. It's very bottom of the barrel stuff. So that went viral, and President Trump tweeted out, "The fake news networks, those that knowingly have a sick and biased agenda, are worried about the competition and quality of Sinclair broadcast. The fakers at CNN, NBC, ABC, and CBS have done so much dishonest reporting that they should only be allowed to get awards for fiction." And, this is going to get misconstrued. A lot of people are going to say a lot of things. First off, what I loved about the Sinclair broadcast viral video was that everybody shared it and everybody thought it was a bad idea. This is the thing that people don't understand about Trump supporters and conservatives that I do understand, looking at it and being honest and not just hating like everybody else does, is Trump supporters, people who support Trump, they're actually very reasonable, very logical. They don't agree with everything he says, and even if it is conservative-leaning Sinclair broadcasting, as some would say, they don't care. They'll call fake news out for being fake news. They'll share this video. They don't hide it and act like it doesn't exist. So that's one thing I want to get across, is that everyone shared this, not just the left wing. But where President Trump is making a valid point and where he's not, first I'm going to start with where he is. The media, I say it all the time because it's true, or else I wouldn't be saying it all the time. Even if you're a left-leaning person, you have to understand the entire media is owned by liberals. I mean, I don't know if it's owned by liberals. I don't know who exactly owns it at the core, but Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Google, Snapchat, all of the apps, even Uber and Lyft, even like the dating apps, they're all like, they put out these statements. They're super, super liberal. Almost all of the television is liberal, so much so that Roseanne comes through and says, hey, I'm like middle of the road, middle America. And people are like, you can't even exist. So somehow they took all of this stuff, the fact that it's so left-leaning, that it's just extreme, neoliberal, whatever you want to call it. People, got your own labels. And then they somehow can spin it and say that it's conservative media. It's Sinclair Broadcasting and only Sinclair Broadcasting. So I agree with President Trump in the fact that CNN, NBC, ABC, and CBS, they are very, very fake. And people need to look into Time Warner. Time Warner owns CNN, and look who owns NBC, ABC, and CBS. There's 4 or 5 companies that own all of the networks. Time Warner, the Disney Channel or the Disney Network, I believe Viacom, I believe the CBS company, and one more, News Corp maybe. There's 5 companies that own almost everything. So if we're going to take a look at this, I agree with President Trump, we have to take a look at everything, because if we just somehow frame this, and they're brilliant at doing this, I have to say, they are master wizards, they're incredible liars, where they can take something that they own like 95% of, and they control the whole flow of culture in the media, and they could spin it that it's actually the right doing it. So, that's why I'm so cautious to their extremism, is because they already have so much control, but in their delusional heads, they won't have the control until they take all of the control. They have, and I'm not talking about all liberals, I'm talking about these specific people, the elites, the left-wing people, the same people who cheated Bernie Sanders and, act like Ron Paul doesn't exist and Rand Paul doesn't exist. They have everything, but they want more and more and more and more. They want to take guns away. They want to do this. They want to do that. Why? I mean, why would anyone listen to them? So, first off, I think we should take a look at Sinclair Broadcast. I don't know if they have competition and quality. I haven't researched them enough. Trump is a big Sinclair Broadcast fan. I can't say I'm the same. I really could care less about Sinclair Broadcast. I'm sure they're a multi-billion-dollar industry that's not doing the greatest work. But I do think he is right on the sense of he's saying, hey, look at CNN, NBC, ABC, and CBS, because somehow they can remove all this scrutiny and then throw it on the right wing. And if you look at Sinclair Broadcast Wikipedia, I said this a couple days ago, it says they're conservative leaning. So the Wikipedia is slandering them as a conservative organization. If you look at Time Warner, which is ridiculously extremist left, like the extreme of the extreme, it doesn't say that. So they alter Wikipedias. They literally alter dictionaries. I mean, it's hard to think that these people aren't tyrants, because their world is, we don't own the media. The Republicans own the media, and we need to take it from the Republicans. We need to get rid of Roseanne and Tim Allen, and we need to get rid of Sinclair Broadcasting. But the true reality is they own almost everything. The only thing that they don't own is Roseanne, and they don't own Sinclair Broadcasting, apparently. So they want to take it. And I'm no fan of like a right-wing news organization that's just as bad as left-wing news organizations, but that's not the reality that we live in. We don't live in a world where the right-wing and the conservatives own all the tech companies, and we don't live in a world where the tech companies are too far right and all the television stations are too far right. We live in a world where they're too far left. So I agree with President Trump with this tweet. I don't know that much about Sinclair Broadcast. He's a bigger fan of them than I am. But I think he's right to say, and of course no one's going to listen to it as far as left-leaning people. They're never going to hear what he's saying and agree with it. But it's true. I mean, how did they take the whole television industry, which is obviously liberal? I mean, have you ever watched the Oscars or the Grammys or the Emmys? I mean, it's like a liberal extremist fest where, like, if you're like, hey, I like lower taxes, they'll be like, get out of here, you crazy Nazi. And then they did this viral video and master manipulated people into thinking that conservatives are running rampant on the television. So it's like, this tweet is a good tweet. I know everyone's going to talk about it because it's a viral video. That's why I wanted to include it on my stream. But it's totally true. If we're going to look at Sinclair Broadcasting, we can't let these people just try to break up Sinclair Broadcasting, but let, Viacom and let the Disney Channel, the Disney Network, and let especially Time Warner. I mean, Time Warner is one of the worst, who owns CNN. they're extremists on the left. We can't let them escape all of, you know, the conglomerate and the monopoly talk and blame it all on the one conservative network, because that's very, very dangerous. We're already like teetering on a place where, you know, they want everything. So that's my thoughts on that. I think it's pretty true. It's very honest, and it's bringing up discussion that people need to talk about. But I'm sure, once again, this will probably fall on deaf ears amongst the people who need to hear it, and it will probably only get heard in a chamber of which people already agree and know this stuff. So I wish, you know, I'm always seeking ways to try to get people to reach across the aisle and consider this type of stuff, because you go on to Reddit politics, which is very left-leaning, and they live in a totally different reality. Like, they're like, CNN is the most honest, fair news. And I'm just like, what? Like, what world? We're not living in the same world. And I'm not even mad anymore. I'm trying to, like, understand. I'm trying to have these discussions and debate, because I'm not living on this planet where CNN's the realest news and they're like the honest truth teller news. That's not the world I live in. So I'm trying to dive into that world and be like, what are they thinking? Because this is how they twist it. They can somehow take an industry that's dominated by extremist left-wing, you know, far left. Like, I want to start World War III with Russia, far left, and I want to take everybody's rights away, left, and I want to ignore all the problems and act like I have no power when I have all the social power. And they twist it and say, we got to get rid of Fox News and Sinclair Broadcasting. So it's very, very creepy stuff. I think the president's right to, bring up that point. And that's where I'm at. Don't let these people, if they're going to talk about monopolies and they're going to talk about conglomerates having too much media power, we have to look at the left-leaning organizations who own everything. Facebook, Twitter, Google, YouTube, Snapchat, all of the apps, basically, all of the tech companies, every television station, Viacom, Disney, Time Warner, the CBS network, all of these. We need to look at all of them. We can't just blame everything on conservatives, but that's what they do. They live in this reality that they like ignore 99% of everything. They spot like the one like right-leaning thing that's like, we want lower taxes and more personal freedoms, and they attack. And I think the viral video was definitely important, and it was definitely something to see. But we have to look at every network and every conglomerate, not just this one. Those are my thoughts. Thank you guys so much for joining. I just wanted to get that out there before I left, since my live stream cut off. Thank you for joining. I'm going to post my links below. My email list is free. Please sign up. If you haven't, it takes 5 to 10 seconds, and we can stay connected amongst all this social media madness. I'm going to post up my YouTube channel. I'm going to post up my donation link if you'd like to support. I'm 100% funded by the people. I'm trying to make other plays, but for now, they don't even want me to exist. I wish I had something else to say, but I'm not, I don't fit a certain mold. I'm not right-wing, and I'm not divisive enough, and I'm not ineffective enough to be picked up by certain television stations. I'm clearly not left-leaning enough and extremist enough to get picked up by left-leaning news organizations. So I'm the type of person that they really don't want to exist in this field. So things like Patreon and things like DonorBox have been a huge W for me, and it's been a game-changing thing, because 5-10 years ago I wouldn't even be allowed to do this. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate your support on every level. God bless you. Have a good day. I'm going to upload all of these on YouTube as well, my YouTube channel, in 4 different segments. So thanks. Let me know if you liked what I did today with the 4 different things, and we could try it again sometime if you like.